we start the session. Before we start the session, let us do the starting prayer. Let us sit in silence for about 2 minutes. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know is therefore one with every other. Thank you. Welcome back. So I request Smitaji to please play the video. Thank you, Smitaji, for playing the video. So since there are no any questions already put in the chat, I can proceed for discussion, I believe. Can I get any confirmation from any of the audience if my voice is audible? And if someone want to start the discussion?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Vimalji is here.
It's impossible not to ignore this, that there are very few young Indian theosophists in the meeting today. So lots of oldies. What do you think is the reason for this?
Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I'm really not sure. Well, we can discuss on that on a different meeting. Why this platform? Only the young Indian theosophists are in the moderator or in the speaker position, but not in the audience.
It's,
So,
I think, mainly because people want ready-made answers. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to be put on the point where they have to give something. So what I also am worried about is when I see the number is that, are we speaking to the problems of the young Indian theosophists? Are maybe there are issues that we need to take. Anyway, that's another topic. I mean, coming back to the lecture, well, this is the thing that what he's talking about is the ultimate truth, that we can't know that ultimate through our mind, which is what he's saying. Whatever is the content of our mind is the known, and through our mind we cannot know that unknown. So the how do we get rid of whatever we know? How do we quit this whole image building and business that our mind is, or image forming of others or of ourselves or of our philosophies or for our thinking? How does one quit doing that? And what he says is that understanding is the action. The moment you understand it, that is the action. You understand that you don't do it, you don't form images, you give up everything that you know and wait, or see in that moment or that thing, meditation takes place. This is how I understood this lecture, and others can comment.
thank you, Vimalji, for your input. Anyone else would like to make a comment at this stage? Okay. Since there are no any comments, let me proceed to just read out gist of what we heard. Of course, it's very wonderful to listen to Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti, and his style of narration. But just for the sake of uh, you know putting out very important points that he mentioned, I would like to read out these points, and then maybe after this, if someone would like to have a discussion on any single point, we can do that. So we all know that the mind deteriorates. So how can we stop this deterioration of mind? How can we make mind feel fresh and young always? And to identify this challenge and the entire process of inquiring itself is meditation, what Jiddu Krishnamurti gives the definition for meditation. So the central issue is whether mind can rejuvenate itself, can it become young and fresh and unafraid of this deterioration. So what are the reasons if one start inquiring? The reasons are that we all have various images built about ourselves in our minds. And once we start observing, once we make an effort to observe these images that we have ourselves, the first thing that we come to know is that the observer feels that the image is so different from itself. So, who is then the observer, and what is he observing, and what is that being observed? So, now if we think about these three aspects, it is we, as observer, observing the images that we have built through our knowledge and our experiences. So when the observer feels that these images that we have built for ourselves are so totally different from the observer itself, that means there is some conflict that we have gone through. And this effort of trying to change and fighting with that image and not being in reality is the reason for all the agony and pain and restlessness that we go through. Now, what the observer can do here? The observer and the image being observed should be seen to such an extent that there is no more observer and there is no more image that is being observed. So that is called emptying of the mind. So the emptying of the mind is nothing but the emptying, removing, throwing away all these images that we have built for ourselves. And of course, it is not that very easy to delete these images in our mind, just like we delete the images in our cell phones and computers. But it needs some effort. So once you start deleting or once you start removing those images that you have built for yourself, once you reach to that stage where there is no observer and there is no image being observed, when both the entities reach equilibrium or a same position, then what remains is just understanding and action. What is understanding? Understanding of what you have, what is there, what it is, without any prior experience based or knowledge based or anything based images. And what is action? Action means continuous process of cleansing, continuous process of removing any image that you build for yourself. So when these two things, the understanding and the action remains, then the mind is quiet, and then you reach the stage of meditation. This is a small gist of what Jiddu Krishnamurti has said. And this emptying should happen non-verbally, without help of any chemicals or any methods, and with pure awareness. And what is that awareness? That awareness is stage of mind where it is not forced to observe or to concentrate, but a very natural method, a very natural process where where the observer and the being and the image being observed is does not exist anymore, and there is no conflict there. So this kind of meditation demands tremendous attention, and it's not something that you can do in your free time. And a mind which is full of light does not seek anything. So its meditation is not something, a process to seek something. And in the end, Krishnamurti also said that you ask questions and you get explanations, but explanation is no value. It's not the explanation that is valued, but how you ask the question is the high importance, high value. And the way you ask the question itself will lead you to that stage of awareness where you also find answers. And that's the video, the very important points that we heard in the video. If anyone else is still willing to uh, start a discussion or elaborate anything on these points, you're welcome now. So Taralji is here.
Yes, I am very much there.
Yes, closing comments from you, because I hope the video was very clear and there's no much points for anyone to discuss on that.
Video.
Yes, yes,
Hope I am audible.
yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we are seeing a video of such a great person, we become speechless after hearing him because all the words go around our mind that what was he trying to get into. So I think I don't have anything to say, but I'm just digesting.
Okay, so that's your
Yeah,
comment. You're trying to digest.
correct. Because it was really a very wonderful talk. And
Vimalji? Yes, yes, Vimalji, please go ahead.
Yeah, I
yeah,
just
Vimal.
yeah, it's okay. No, it's not a problem. I mean, we don't need to discuss something which is this is very profound. I mean, he's talking about knowing the unknown, which is highest. Now, in this regard, and I came across this book, and I thought I should share because a lot of senior members here, and you all will benefit. Perhaps you have not heard of this book. It's called The Yoga of Christ, and it's written by one Dr. Murdo McDonald Bine. Now, you will be really surprised how much Krishnamurti's teachings are in this book. And it's another way of putting Krishnamurti's teachings. And I think it's available in audiobook form I'll write it down in the chat box. And it's available in audiobook in YouTube. And basically, the book actually emphasizes this point which is being made in this video, which is that through the mind, one can't know that unknown. It is not possible. So all our action or whatever we are trying in our spiritual path, which is I think the ultimate goal, is to at least have a glimpse before we die of that unknown. I think all the seniors will agree that everyone wants a glimpse. They feel that if I can even experience it once, I know I have experienced it. So that unknown is what this video was all about. So I'm not surprised that there is not much to discuss in this. So just that this book I think will be useful for other studies. So I'll write it down in the chat box. That's it.
Well, of course, yeah. Krishnamurti has put in very simple terms. What is meditation? Meditation is simple, emptying of your mind, emptying of what is known, and to reach that stage where where you yourself has no any contradiction with the image that you have built. Right. These are all very simple. But I think we can discuss what makes us or what are the problems that we may face when we follow um, this method of meditation, or when we try to understand what is meditation, as Krishnamurti said, because he himself has mentioned there are various methods of meditation. People do chanting, people do the repetition of words, people start observing something, and there are various methods, and we all know there are others also, like guided meditation and all these things. But what Krishnamurti is saying is that according to him, meditation has nothing to do with all those things that will lead mind to become mechanized. He even mentioned this word that once your mind becomes mechanized, then it becomes dull. It's not meditation actually. You're doing something ritualistic thing. But without doing all those things, if we start only observing the images, what may be the problems that we may face? I think we can share our thoughts on that. Vimalji, you are still there?
Yes. Yeah. Basically, like, I mean, one thing you observe is that Krishnamurti never conducted a guided meditation. He never did a guided meditation. He
Correct.
talked a lot about meditation. Why? Because he understood that it is a form of self hypnosis or hypnotizing others. So, while I think I have my own ideas about meditation, I think that we are all not that high sort of spiritual being, because we are so caught up with our thoughts, and which are many of sometimes negative thoughts or repetitive negative thoughts. We are caught in a cycle of repetitive negative thinking about some person or some people or whatever. So at that time, what happens is that meditation helps, because you get a break from your habitual thinking, and you are able to calm yourself. So meditation has its uses. It's like taking a walk has its uses. Exercise has its uses. Good diet has its uses. Meditation has its uses. I don't think that, but the way I understand it. But yes, in the ultimate higher spiritual life, guided meditation will only take you so far. It's not going to reach you to that level. That's how I look at it.
Yes, my let me rephrase my question. Say, of course, there are various other types of meditation. Krishnamurti has mentioned that they become mechanized. Krishnamurti suggests that meditation is nothing but emptying of the mind. But to attain that, if one creates some baby steps, so like how to reach to that stage, if one can come out with a method to empty your mind, so that you practice upon it, and finally you reach what Krishnamurti is saying. I hope I'm being clear.
Yeah,
So,
that's
is that
exactly what
something?
he's saying. Don't do. He says there is no method. He's not talking about. He's saying that there isn't a method. A method is something prescribed by others. You're giving authority to somebody else. That's not going to work. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's the answer what I want from you. So, he totally outright rejects these methods.
Yeah.
So what he suggests is an awareness, conscious awareness,
Yeah.
where you keep observing yourself. That's it. So then that is the process of understanding, and then the action is you you understand yourself first, and then the next thing is action. That is to remove that image. Means to be aware that that is not you. That is not something that you have to build upon.
No,
So
it's not removal. The moment you're aware of the image dissolves actually.
exactly,
Because once
exactly,
you know that it's false, like you say, I have been telling a lie all the time. The moment you have been saying, I have been lying all the time, that realization is enough for you to know that you will not lie.
correct,
You don't have to say, I will not lie. So
correct. So
same like
again,
that.
there is no effort in removal of the wrong image. So awareness and observation of the image itself, I mean, the removal itself, the understanding and the action both happens at the same time. That's what.
And that is a self transformation where once you realize that once you realize this image making and this falsehood that you are preaching about yourself or whatever it is, or about others, then immediately you know that you are this awareness and you are not that image. It is not you. You are only this awareness of that image. So that moment you come nearer to that higher truth or that higher self. So this kind of constant coming back to your higher self, it becomes a practice in itself. Because then you are always saying, okay, is this the truth or is this an image? Am I reaching? So this practice of looking for the truth in everything is I feel the method to to our spiritual evolution. It's we have to search for the truth. That's why it's not in one book, it's not in one lecture, it's not in one teacher. That's why Theosophical Society is not just talking about Krishnamurti. It talks about so many teachers. Why? Because there is some truth in somebody's truth gives us a clarity for our problem. So everybody's problem is different. Problems are
So that leads to my next question. I mean, I'm just questions are coming out spontaneously. So if then the meditation is just an awareness, a conscious awareness, a continuous process of understanding and action of removing the image to know what is the real yourself, then that should be a 24/7 process, whether you're sleeping or you're awake or doing anything. So it doesn't need 20 minutes of every day in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening to sit and close your eyes in one place, right?
yes. So meditation at a higher stage is that. So for those who need the 20 minutes, or the ones whose Kamarupa body or Kama Manasik body is too agitated, they are not yet reached that stage where they can do this continuous whole day meditation, stay in this meditative state. They need these because they get so pushed by the we see the problem which we don't realize is that we are one cell in the body of humanity. This is some nice quotation I came across, which is so true. So everything what others are thinking is affecting us, and emotions are all there. That's why meditation still works. It's still needed. 20 minutes is not wrong. Sorry, I'm
तरल जी
not well
तर,
today.
तरल जी आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं? तब तक विमल जी थोड़ा आराम ले. म्यूट है, प्लीज अनम्यूट कीजिए.
Oh, I'm mute. Now, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, what I was saying, where have I gone?
Yeah, you are here.
Meditation to me, when I always connect it with art, because that is how, since there is no way, a physical or practical way for meditation. Whenever I sit to write something or want to create something, then there is a thinking process. So first of all, you want a very silent thing. So that's why I am always, instead of early morning hours, I do it in the late night hours.
You are a night
And
owl.
yeah, after 10, when there is very silent, sometimes the moon is there, I go upstairs or I stand below the moon. And then just by looking at it, when I go into a state of nothingness, I don't realize how much time has passed. So I don't know whether that is a right way to meditate or what, but there is a time when there is nothingness in my mind, and after that I feel very relaxed. And then whatever subject I am thinking in, I go into it very easily. So I think Meditation to me, maybe I am just a very small thinker on this subject, but meditation to me is getting your mind cured of all the thoughts, of all the things happening around you, and regenerate it to a freshness. That's what I can gather about what I do. Secondly, it has also got connected with your subconscious mind, because our mind, whatever we are doing now, only 1/10 of our mind is working, and subconscious mind is something which is very powerful. And meditation is a connection to this subconscious mind. That's what I think is the basics which I have so far learned. But Krishnamurti ji always surprises in his lectures. So एक rethink करने के लिए मन करता है. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Taralji and Vimalji, for participating in the discussion. It's time to close the meeting. So we will close the meeting with 1 minute of silence, rather observing your images, and then with a closing prayer. ॐ सर्वे वै सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Thank you so much for all the participants. Meeting is closed. Smitaji, you can close the live recording.